Everyone, welcome back to the 2026 FIDE Candidates Chess Tournament. And so this time I'm going to be going to round number 10 of one game of the Open and one game of the Women. So yeah, let's just get started. The men's game is between none other than Javakir Sindarov versus Pragnananda Ramesh Babu with the black pieces. Javakir with white plays d4. We have knight f6, e4, e6. This is the East Indian defense part of the Indian game. Knight f3 and d5. Now, just like that, openings, you see, they can change very easily. Like you can go from a English opening like c4, next thing knight f6, and you go d4, just the normal Queen's Gambit Indian game. Now just the Queen's Gambit declined. We have knight to c3, knight bd7, bishop f4, bishop b4. Now it's a kind of Nimzo Indian, you see, cd5, ed5, and e3 played. A solid move by Javakar. Pragnanda, Pragnananda Prague needs a win, so he goes knight to e4. This is a bit of an aggressive way to play this. Another way to knight to e4 would be just something like simple like c5. This is another aggressive way also technically. Knight e4, queen c2, that's the main move. g5. Now they go into a very sharp line with h5, bishop d3 and h4 where you take, which is the only one queen takes. So it's check, so now king goes to f8. Now it's kind of a drawn position. And as you could see, bishop takes c4 was the only move. After king to f8, bishop e5 was played. So Javakar wants to crush everyone. f6. Now the only move for Javakar, knight g5. Knight takes g5. Now you have to take here, take back, and then you have to take here like this. So after d takes on g5, I guess, because this would be worse because the knight's still there. You go f4. Even castles would have been a great move. You don't want to take here because then yeah, you just castle again, once again, and then the rook's gonna come in. Technically, it's gonna win. So the move h3 was played by Raghunanda, trying to get the rook in, and rook to d1, which is simply played. You can't castle because of the queen rule. The queen is going as a rule would be the king has to. They have to go 1-2. So if by 1 the queen would already capture it, which is the way I remember it. Yeah. So now the queen is getting attacked by the rook. So queen goes to e7. After the queen goes to e7, g3 is played, and trade pawns and castles. Rook to h6. Rook takes f4. King g8. Rook df1, trying to get the rooks in to come here or like here. And then Prague makes a mistake. He had to play the move bishop e6 here. Bishop e6 stops the rook from coming here and brings the rook in to stop it from coming here. Yeah. So now he played bishop e7. So this is a great blunder because of rook f7. So now you kind of are forced to take because if you don't take, like play queen e6 for example. If queen e6 defends the bishop, right? But then you bring this rook back to f6. And after queen take and okay wait, so now if the queen takes there on a2. Okay, wait, let me show you after. So queen takes f7 was the only move, rook takes. So if this doesn't work because of queen to f4 check, and there was king g7, and then like this is just completely losing. You go queen g5, king h7, queen e7, and you pick up the bishop. And then play a few moves a4, a5. Javakar uses his ideas and decides to go for the part of capturing and pushing g and h pawns. And eventually in this position with nothing to do, 31 minutes, and Javakar having 1 hour and 1 second. Pragnananda Ramesh Babu resigned as this is a completely lost position as the H pawn is going to promote, and the Javakar is up 2 pawns and a queen for 2 rooks. And in this position, it's better because the king is safe, this king is not safe. So, as I was saying over here, by the bishop d7 blunder, so after rook f7, if the queen like moves here, you just take this, like, yeah. So they can't do that. If the queen goes here to defend, you go rook 7 f6. And like where the queen go, the queen, maybe take here, and then you take the rook. So you're thinking, why don't they just trade? They take here, you take back, the queen will go somewhere. And yeah, you just go queen. They're not that queen c4 check. And like if the king moves, then you can go queen f4. I mean, like you're gonna get something here. Because like when you run king g8, you go queen g5 check, and then like queen g7, rook g6. Yeah, so that was just worse up. Another place for it to move after rook to f7, obviously, is queen here. But then you do the same thing and trades. You take back, and like this queen h5 stuff, you just go queen d5 check. You just win the bishop. You're gonna win the bishop. That's the point. And if the queen blocks, you just take. And yeah, rook h6 mate. So that was the delightful game by Javakar, and now he's almost winning the tournament. Like, what is happening? Like, just no one's gonna save it now. Like, he's on 8 out of 10. He breaks a record of getting 6 wins. The previous one was 5. Pragnan is stuck on 4 out of 10. So, and almost everyone else drew. So, like, this is not good. It's not going good for the tournament. Let's move on to the women's game. This is Bibi Sara. I don't know the surname. Bibi Sara with the white pieces and Zhu Jiner with the black pieces. We have a simple Indian game. The East India, knight f3, d5. This is a simpler game. Although this one they trade the bishops and go a3. So that he took here e3. I would recommend if you're a beginner to go e4. It's more aggressive to like beginners you want to win. G6 is a kind of a mistake. I don't know why. Bishop takes on c4. Bishop just on castles, and Bibisara jumps with a knight to e4. Now Zujira plays c5. Knight jumps to e4, and now Bibisara's knight just assault. The knight on e4 is a beast, generally. Knight he jumps to c5, back to e4 attacking the queen, back to c5. At a stage, they were about to repeat moves. Then Bibi Sara thought for a bit, and the thing was for about 4 minutes about the draw, and she played back. But then Zhu Jina thought for 8 minutes and went back to b8. So if she went queen, he sends a draw. But she decided to go for the win. Queen b8, rook to d2, bishop goes to a6, and yeah, we just have rook c1, bishop takes c4, rook takes c4, rook a6 defending the c6 pawn. This becomes a bit better. It was better for Zujina. She was 0.4. Now it's kind of a draw, as you can see in the valuation bar. It's 0-0. And because the best move, and the only move g3 was played, rook goes to b6 trying to attack this pawn. Queen c3 defends it. You also need to play defending and attacking moves in the candidates. Be very careful as you have 2 hours. Rook d5, knight c5, h5, h4, and then e5 played. Baby Sarah's up a pawn. Well, not anymore, yeah. b4, rook to b5, queen a4, rook to b5, queen e8's a mistake. Queen e8's a mistake because of queen to c2. Queen c2 was not played. Queen d1 was played. That's almost the same move, but not exactly the same because now the rook can go back to b8. Although the rook went to e5. And then it was king d2, the rook went to e1, queen f3, rook went back to b8. And then this is better for Bibi Sara. She has pass pawns. Knight d3 is the only move, rook to a8. Rook e2. Now she's winning. She's not up a pawn, but this pass pawn is deadly. Rook takes c6. Rook c3. And now that was just not a good move because now you just take here. And if d takes back, you go knight c5. That's a great move. Not really going to come here. Queen d8. Now you just push. a6 rook d1. Knight goes back to b3. And now you better just dodge the checks. I mean the stuff. And then you just push. King to h2 is the only move it avoids the check. Rook d1. Queen goes to c6. Queen a7. Play a few moves. And she gets the second queen. I mean, like, she has a second queen. A second queen literally promoted on the board. And Bibi Sara won. So, Zhu Jiner was a bit unlucky. She had a choice if she wanted to take the draw. She wanted to play for a win. That's some true fighting spirit, but she ended up losing. Unlucky stuff. That was some brilliant play with the passport the A file by Bibi Sara. So now, Vaishali Ramesh Babu drew in the women, so it's really close. He's so far leading the tournament 6 out of 10. And guess what? In the men's, second place is 6 out of 10. First place, none other than Javakar Sindarov, or Yavakar Sindarov, should I say, is 8 out of 10. So now That's crazy. He's absolutely crushing every like the candidates in his hands. How can he not come first from now? He literally has a 2 point lead after round 10. And today's a rest day, and on the 11th of April will be round number 11. He just needs to draw. How will I not just draw? So yeah, anyways, I guess that's it for today's video. Goodbye.